This is Carl from National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk through this 2021 Flagstaff Superlight Model 26 FKBS. So we're on the outside, obviously, on the door side, so I'll walk towards the rear, where you have an outside shower. This is the fill for your freshwater tank, your on-demand tank. So if you're at a campsite and it doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, you can pre-fill this tank here and use the onboard pump to pump the water, so it'll work just like you have pressurized city water, even if you don't. Now, right around the corner here are the rest of your water hookups. This is the city water hookup here. That's the most common one you'll use. You'll just hook the hose onto it and you're pretty much all set. Like I said, if you don't have city water, you can pre-fill here. Alright. Also, this is for winterizing the trailer. This is an antifreeze inlet, something you'd have to educate yourself a bit about if you're going to do it yourself, but it's not hard. But that has to do with winterizing the trailer. Now, the trailer is winterized right now, so you're going to have to de-winterize before you take it camping, of course. So, and this other hookup right here is a flush tank or a flush hookup for the black tank. So after you've dumped your black tank, the black tank is toilet water and waste. After you do that, you can leave the valve open, put a hose on there, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of the tent. Or the tent, I'm sorry. Let's go. It'll clean out the inside of the tank, the black tank. Your tent will be fine. Okay, so moving along, we've got a power awning. You got fold-in steps, and they have an adjustment for each leg. You can see it right there, that little clear metal piece, or unpainted metal piece. It's not clear. And those fold right inside. The thing to remember is you have to have them set correctly, because if, here, let me open it and show you. If this threshold piece is up too high, then it'll bind on the bottom of the door here. So you always got to have these low enough so this is level, right? So keep that in mind. It's no big deal. Pretty straightforward. Okay, you also have the video out, antenna out, and power, and a rail to put a utility table on, or there's a mount for a TV, so you can hang the TV on the outside if you choose to. Okay, I think I have to walk to the back here because I probably didn't mention you have power stabilizers on this, so you have two switches, one in the front, one in the rear. This one here is for both rear stabilizers. So you go up and down. Now you don't lift the trailer with these, you're just going to take the wiggle out of it, so keep that in mind. You don't try and lift it off the ground or anything like that. Okay. And there's your front right there. This is your furnace outlet. This is where you will hang a grill. This comes with a grill. I'm trying to see if I'm getting my hand in there. I know I'm a lousy cameraman here. So this grill, you can hang a grill there. Plus there's a quick connect for LP gas right there. So you get a line with it, and you'll hook it to the grill and obviously to the quick connect there if you're going to use the outside grill. This is your water heater. It works on both gas and electric. Keep in mind that there's a second switch for the electric right here. It's on off right now. And what it does is cuts the power to this electric heating element that's behind this cover right here. Alright? So keep in mind that there's going to be two switches for electricity, and you cannot run this, you can't dry fire it, meaning you have to have water in this tank before you turn it on. So what you'll do is you'll hook up your city water, and then you'll go inside and you'll turn on the hot water valve over the sink, and it'll be spitting air out and then air and water. And when it starts spitting solid water out of the hot water valve, then you'll know that the tank is filled. Then you can turn it on. Alright, hopefully that makes sense to you. This is your hitch. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up a trailer. This is the utility table. I told you about that hangs on that rail. You've got cranks here. Okay, now this is important. This crank here, it's got a different head on it. You'll see two of these here. So what this is, you can't really see it, but there's a shaft in there. And if you were to, if your slide outs were to fail, you can use that crank and slide it through the hole onto the shaft. You can actually crank these in and out manually if you had to. So it's a really good feature. The second one for the second slide out is obviously right there. Okay? So the top crank, the smaller one that's hanging here, is for your power tongue jack, right? If the power tongue jack fails, you can pull this rubber plug right here and crank it manually. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. You got two 30-pound LP tanks, power tongue jack. This is the, let's find it. If you can see it right there, that's the, right here, that's the kill switch for the battery. So you can actually shut the battery off, or batteries off in this case, there's two of them. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now this video is it just goes a bit farther than the sales video. It just goes into more detail on stuff, so it gives you a better idea how they work. You have two gray tanks on this one, and a black tank. Yes. So here we go. This is your black tank valve right there for the toilet water and waste. This is your gray here, right? Gray is toilet or is sink and shower water. So you're going to put your hose on here. Put it in the dump station, and then you're going to pull the black tank and dump it first. Then you pull the gray tank and dump it, just because the gray water is cleaner than the black water. After that, you can leave this black valve open, like I told you, and hook your hose up to the port over here, and you can actually flush it out. So you hook it up right there. And like it says on this sticker, always make sure the valve's open, so you don't get too much back pressure. This is a 50 amp system, so you got a 50 amp cord with reducers. You have a backup camera installed, so you turn on your running lights to activate the camera. There's no backup circuit, so you just turn on your regular headlights. You can't, generally speaking, you can't just leave them on automatic. You have to physically turn them to the on position. And anyway, your camera will light up when you do that. You have a ladder to get on your roof, which is a great thing, because you need to inspect the roof every 90 days or so. It's very important to do that, no matter what trailer it is. All trailers are the same in that sense. So you go up there in the spring, middle of the summer, in the fall, look around, make sure there's no cracking or separation. Make sure that, excuse me, there's no damage to the rubber membrane, anything like that. Okay, so let me make sure I got all the lights on here. Hold on. Okay. Oh, there was the button. So some of these lights, or all these lights, will have a button in the middle also. So they'll generally go to a switch, but then you can also select them independently. Okay, so here we are right inside the door. I'm going to pick up the pace here. I only got a half hour here before this starts a new file. So you got your lights here. This thing is the Wi-Fi Ranger switch. This is the information for your Wi-Fi Ranger. The Wi-Fi Ranger is basically, the most common function is it's a signal booster, and it'll boost the public Wi-Fi. So keep in mind that when you're looking for it, that is what your Wi-Fi Ranger is called. So you'll see that on your phone, let's say, when you're looking for it. Then you would put on all your devices, all your family's devices, you'd put the information to hook up to the Wi-Fi Ranger automatically. Right. Then you would go to this with your phone or tablet. You go to this IP address here, right? And then you'll see everything that and there's the temporary password right above it. You'll see everything that the Wi-Fi Ranger sees, and then you would pick out the campground Wi-Fi, whatever. If they give you a password, you'd put that in there. So the idea is you only have to connect this to the outside world. Your phones and everything are connect to this, right, to the Wi-Fi Ranger automatically. There's another function that you can pay. It works like it's a cellular service basically. It would be like paying for another phone, and you get a chip or a SIM card or whatever they use on this one. But that is another option, but it's something you would pay for. The public Wi-Fi thing is free. It's a great signal booster. It's got a built-in firewall. It's just a good thing. Okay, your slide out buttons in and out. You just slide them till you hear the ratcheting sound. You know that they're extended or retracted all the way. Your awning, power awning, is right here. Just remember, you never leave it out unattended, because if you do, the wind can damage it very quickly. So when you leave the campsite, you want to roll it in. All right, so your battery is charged. Fresh water is empty. See, it graduates up in 1/3 increments as it charges, or as it fills, I mean. Black water is empty. Gray 1 and 2. You have 2 gray tanks in this one. The regular gray tank is for the shower and sink in the bathroom, and then the second one is called a galley gray tank, which is for the kitchen sink. Okay. So let's see. You have water heater on electric here. Remember, I told you there's 2 switches for that. To light it on gas, you would do it that way. To run your water pump, it's right here. And you have tank heaters on this one, which basically they're heating pads on the bottom of the fresh water tank and the gray and black tank. And what it does, it will, excuse me, it will basically warm them up a bit. It extends your camping season from, you can stay out later in the fall and go out earlier in the spring, basically. So it keeps the tanks from freezing. Okay, so you have this is just a regular compressor type refrigerator. Always lock the latch before you start traveling, so you don't damage the door. This vents to the outside. So there's on the outside of the trailer, you'll see a black vent. When you're running the fan, always make sure that the baffle on the outside vent is free, so it can flap freely. Otherwise, keep it shut when you're traveling or you're not using the vent fan. Lights. Okay. So this is your Magic Chef range. So basically you spark it to light it. This is the sparker. It's turned clockwise to spark it. Alright, so to turn on this, you're just going to spark it like that, if you can see it. Each one has its own valve. Then this one is for the oven. So what happens here is you can spark it, hopefully you can see it here, all the way back on the bottom. Yeah, there you go, is a pilot light. So what you want to do is you want to turn the oven knob to pilot, which is the picture of the flame. Then you depress it, keep it depressed. Then you'll spark it until it lights down here. Once it lights, you hold it for another 10 seconds or so, then let it go. You go to operating temperature, it cycles on and off like an oven does. But as soon as you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time. Okay, all right. Let's see what else we've got here. This is this feature here. This is basically sensors you can install. It has to be programmed. No, this one actually it's like they already have. So basically, it's going to tell you your tire temperatures and tire pressure, and it has an alarm and everything. So. This is the, remember I told you there was for the griddle or grill, you needed a hose to hook it up. This is the hose here. Alright, and this is of course your griddle or grill. This one's a griddle. Right there. Alright, your table folds down, and you can use the back cushions on the table, turn it into a bed. Now this trailer inverts power too. There's 2 different things it'll do. So this with the green light is the power inverter. Inverter converts 12 volt DC over to 110 AC. This one over here below the refrigerator is a converter. It does the opposite. It takes 110 AC and converts it to 12 volt DC. This trailer, some stuff runs on AC, some stuff runs on DC. So this you can turn on and off. There's no reason to leave it converting all the time, or inverting all the time, I mean, so that it's off. So only one plug, and probably the refrigerator. You can talk to your salesman about that when you pick it up. I didn't prep this, so I'm not sure, but only a few items will be, like an appliance and one receptacle probably, are attached to the inverter. You can't invert everything in the trailer. It's not possible, technology-wise, okay? So the device above it with the little green light is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. All right. There it goes. One self-test, another one coming up. And that is the low battery alarm. So if it beeps real slow like that, it's telling you your battery's low. All right. So we talked about the inverter. This is the converter here. So you see you got regular household circuit breakers here. They're all labeled just like you'd see at home. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC, and you have fuses here, 12 volt fuses, and they're all marked. And there's this like a tinted plastic here. So basically, let me get the camera on. So basically, excuse me, if a fuse blows, it'll light up, and you can see it through that plastic. Okay. You have a fireplace with a remote. The fireplace, you can change the appearance of the flame. You have a high speed and a low speed and off for the fan. You got a thermostat, a timer, everything you would need. Your system here will play CDs and DVDs. You can hook up wirelessly with Bluetooth and stream. You can stream off a USB here. You can also go straight into the system through this HDMI. Like you can set a little game machine here, plug it in and go right into the system for a rainy day if you have grandkids around or something, or kids. So on and so forth. So it does a lot. It has 3 speaker zones. 1 is this area, 2 is the bedroom, and 3 is outside. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place with the camera, I'm sorry. Alright, so the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Although this one has an add-on, it's a water miser. So that's the normal position here, but it basically is a water recycler. So if, let's say that, normally when you're running water out of your tank, let's say you're using your demand tank, it'll just send the cold water down the drain, and then you would just start the shower once they heat it up. Well, if you use this, then it cycles it. It just goes around in a circle, so you don't waste any water. So it's an energy-saving device plus, or water-saving device plus. It saves space because you're not going to be filling your gray tank with water that you didn't need to waste. So keep in mind that's the water miser. You'll see that this will change color when the water gets hot, and you'll know immediately by looking at it that the water is now hot. So, okay. Now the toilet, if you haven't had an RV before, you need to know that, let's see here, that's the flush pedal. The black tank's directly below. So basically, the thing that you have to know is when you get to the campsite, your black tank is empty. So you'll hook up your water and your power, then you'll come inside and you'll stand on this pedal and you'll put a gallon or 2 of water, and it'll just swirl around to go into the black tank. You'll put a gallon or 2 of water in there, and it doesn't have to be exact, just close. The bottom line is you can't use this when it's dry. Otherwise the smell will be unbearable, and you'll only do it once, let's put it that way. Okay, so you have your water. Just so you know, this is a fake door. There's actually your water hookups and things like that underneath there. Okay. You can also hang another TV in here. You need a backer with a swing out. Always spend the extra, a backer, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time with the words this morning. There's a backer there, and you would have a swing out bracket so you can see it from the bed. But that's all they're telling you there is there's a board back there to give it more strength. Okay? Alright. Now this one has panels. So let me show you how this works. Hopefully I'm not running out of... So right now, in the battery, there's 13.1 volts. Okay. Right now we're gaining... I just lost it. Let me get it. We're gaining... One more time, 13.1. We're gaining just under an amp, it looks like, from the sun. You can see when it's telling you, it'll have the arrow pointing from the sun to the solar panels. So you got 0.9, so a little less than 1 amp. And your batteries are charged 100%. Okay. You can boost it here. Okay. Excellent. So, because of the way the batteries are wired, we wire them to there's 2 batteries, so we wire them together. So you still have 12 volt, but you just have double the storage. So A and B battery, you don't pay attention to that. You just have to remember that you have B, so you can always test both batteries are wired to B, so you can go scroll through it that way. Also, I'm trying to see when AGM sets your there it is right there. So I'm setting it to flooded battery, which it should have been done already. So now your battery's set correctly, but it'll tell you what type of battery is hooked up to it right there. Okay, so there you have it. It also tells you amp hours on it. Okay, hopefully I explained that well, good enough to you. I'm telling you, I'm having a tough time today here. So, also this is pre-wired for a second air conditioner, so it'll fit right in this vent. If you ever wanted to add an air conditioner, it is a 55 amp system, so you could do that. And this is telling you that there's a sensor wire behind the wall, so you could add your sensor, so it'll sense the correct amount of heat. All right. One more thing. This is your thermostat. It's very simple. You just use the mode button and scroll through the mode, heat off, gas, so on and so forth. Go through the different systems. Okay. So zone 1 and zone 2 right now, you just have zone 1. So it's pretty basic. Okay? All right, well, thank you very much for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember what I said about inspecting the roof. You want to go up there every 90 days or so, or have somebody else go up there and check out the seals on the roof, make sure everything's in good shape. If you see an issue with it, have it taken care of immediately. Thank you very much.